Welcome to the Meaningful Mediation Podcast, the place where leading lawyers and negotiators share their best tips and strategies for mediation and negotiation. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, a full-time Florida mediator and lawyer. My goal is to help you have an effective and meaningful mediation. Each episode will provide you with real-world strategies and tips to help you negotiate and mediate with confidence. Let's get to it. So from the plaintiff side, mediator selection can matter a lot. So what do you actually look for in a mediator in a personal injury case? And do you ever push back when the defense suggests somebody?
Great question. So, I use you for mediations. And one of the reasons why I'll just, in this kind of give you my mindset, one of the reasons I chose you is because, I was very impressed with your skills as an attorney. Your professionalism as well. I always look for professionalism, and I look for somebody who is a skilled attorney, because if there's going to be an insurance company that's going to that I need to get more money out of, I can't send somebody, I can't have a mediator that, the insurance company is going to have, zero respect for, their opinion. So, I look for people who I litigated against, I respect, and there's quite a few. Most of the people I use for mediators are defense attorneys. Now, I will say there aren't many plaintiffs attorneys that go into mediation, but there are some, and, I will use them as well. On the second question about pushback, you know what? I put names out there, and generally the names I put out there, most insurance companies like. If there's somebody who they specifically want, I'll look at him, and if it looks like it's somebody that has experience, I'm actually fine with it. If it's somebody that, in my mind, if it's somebody they're comfortable with, okay, if that mediator is doing their job and, they will go over there and say, listen, you have some problems. You may not be looking at this right. Because, you've gone in the room, whether it's with plaintiffs or the defense. I'm sure the plaintiff, you're in there telling them, why on these facts, they probably aren't going to get the money they're looking for. You as the mediator, I'm sure, is there with the defense telling them, listen, I'm looking at this issue. If I was sitting on the jury, this would be an issue, this would be an issue, this would be an issue. So if it's a mediator that they choose, unless it's somebody who I've used, who I thought is not good with my client, or is, just would not mesh with my client personality wise, because that's something else to look at, whether or not I believe certain mediators, because there's some of my clients that, if you have a strong-willed mediator that pushes a lot, will not mesh with that client. But then there's some clients that need that strong-willed mediator. So I will look at personalities. With the insurance, with the insurance adjuster, somebody they're comfortable with, somebody whose advice that they're going to listen to, I'm generally going to do it as long as a few things like personality clashes with my client. I'll take into effect. I'll say, listen, can you give me somebody else? I just don't think this person will work well with my client. So there is thought that goes into it.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Meaningful Mediation Podcast. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Additional episodes can be found on YouTube and your favorite podcast channels. Until next time, less dispute, more resolution.